So today we just want to tell you, thank you. Realizing that it could have went the other way, we thank you. God, we want to tell you, thank you. Yeah. We're grateful, we're grateful. Yes, we are. God, we thank you for your grace. Yeah, 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 yeah. For your grace. God, we want to tell you, thank you for your grace.
Everybody got something to say. There's too many Indians trying to be chiefs. Opinions run around like a wild goose chase. We don't know what we think we know anyway. Don't talk about it, not too much. Don't talk about it. Don't talk about it, not too much. Don't talk about it. The truth can feel like a slap to the face. We're stubborn at heart, will it ever change? Trying to bully everybody in our way. We don't know what we think we know anyway. Don't talk about it, not too much. Don't talk about it. Don't talk about it, not too much. Don't talk about it.
I look at you, your mouth still running, like you already been there, done it. 'Cause we all gotta listen to something. We don't know what we think we know anyway. One day you're gonna have to stop running. One day you're gonna have to confront it. We gotta think before we speak in a moment. We don't know what we think we know anyway.
Hashtags thrown around like a case. So ain't your mama syruping good anyways? Fiending for attention is a bitter taste. Tell me how we got addicted to the stupid things. Don't talk about it, not too much. Don't talk about it. No, don't talk about it, not too much. Don't talk about it. Freedom is a march in Minnesota streets. So march into the rhythm of I can't breathe. Fist up, I caught it by gas strings. There's a kingdom and it's gonna cost everything. Ooh, don't talk about it, not too much. Don't talk about it. Ooh, don't talk about it, not too much. Don't talk about it.
I look at you, your mouth still running, like you already been there, done it. 'Cause we all gotta listen to something. 'Cause we don't know what we think we know anyway. One day you're gonna have to stop running. One day you're gonna have to confront it. We gotta think before we speak in a moment. 'Cause we don't know what we think we know anyway.
Grandmama, fall on your knees and pray and tell us what the good Lord has to say. We need to wake up before it gets too late. Let love turn us away from our wicked ways. 'Cause we don't know what we think we know anyway. Yeah. We don't know what we think we know anyway. Anyway.
Like, I'll tell you what freedom is to me. No fear. I mean, really, no fear. If I could have that half of my life, no fear. But it is something to really feel.
Taught me how to love myself, recognize my value, my internal wealth. Now I see my potential the way you do, and I am grateful to you. You've been my sunshine in the midst of rain. You taught me to smile in the face of pain. You've been the only consistent when everything else changed. And I am grateful to you. I am grateful for the price you paid. I am grateful that you always stayed.
Connecting the community through gospel.
The new 107.9 FM, W300EB,
Macon and WDDO 980 AM,
Perry.
Macon. Connecting the community through gospel.
The new 107.9 FM, W300EB,
Macon and WDDO 980 AM,
Perry.
Macon.
The views expressed on this program are not necessarily the views of the Glory 980 AM, the Glory Media Group, LLC, WDDO AM, its staff, management, or advertisers, but are the views and opinions of the participants of the broadcast.
Can you hear?
I
You
can,
can hear
yes.
the music. I can. Well, hello, hello, hello. Guess who? It is so good to be back with you. This is, of course, Wednesday. It's 3 p.m. And we want to thank you for tuning in to Ask Elaine once again. This is your talk and information program each week, and we hope that you are indeed smarter when you finish the program. We want to say hello to my sister Nita, who has tuned in with us. We also have Randy Crawford and the person that you see coming in right behind me, although she's been in here before, but she had to take care of some business. That is our DA. And hello, Ricky Crawford. Good afternoon to you. This is not our special guest for the entire hour today is none other than our district attorney, Anita Reynolds Howard. And we are so happy to have her here. We're going to talk a little bit about, after she greets everybody, we're going to talk a little bit about voting. You know, we have to talk about that. And then we will talk about what's going on in the district attorney's office. There's an awful lot going on. And it's not just lock them up, put them on trial. Well, yeah, lock them up, but put them on trial and, all of that. There's a whole lot of stuff, which is the reason that she kicked butt this time around when she was running. No opposition. And I tell you, it was just grand to see that. I love seeing that.
I know, but we were, we were ready, and I was encouraged too, because the first time I ran, I was, basically, running. I know Senator Warren often says is running on a promise, and I had a record to run on, and so
of course.
my staff, I have an amazing staff, in the courtroom, out of the courtroom. And so I'm just glad to be here. I'm thankful for your support always.
Yeah.
I had to remind myself to stop calling you Commissioner Lucas.
Well, the water board
So I
members,
can still
they're
say
commissioners.
commissioner. Okay.
Yes,
Okay,
yes.
okay.
And
So
once you're elected, you're always the honorable. You
honorable.
remember
That's
that
right.
now,
The
'cause I'm
honorable.
gonna always refer to you as the honorable DA.
Yes.
And you kind of retained your title of respect.
That's right.
So
Okay.
so anyway, we won't quibble about that.
Yes,
We
yes.
got that.
So we got that. Okay,
We
so I
got
can
that.
still say so we good either way. But no, I'm just
Yeah.
so glad to be here. We do have a lot going on, and I know I want to talk a little bit about our initiatives, but I also would like to talk about some of the cases because I know
Yeah.
recently there seems to be a lot of questions kind of about from what's going on with some of the cases, our timelines. I know people have been waiting for the cases to make it to the calendar call, so then again go to the trial docket.
Hmm.
Right now, we're trying a case this week from 2017.
Oh.
So that lets that we still have a backlog. I will say in this particular case, which we're seeing this in more and more cases, there is a self-defense claim, and that's what I want to talk about because sometimes you may see on the news, this happened in this case, this happened in this case, but what lots of folks don't realize, yes, we can say, we have an issue with gangs, but I will tell you what we have, like a lot of communities, is we have a gun problem and
Hmm.
everybody
Hmm.
has a
Hmm.
gun.
Hmm.
And there's nothing wrong. I believe in Second Amendment rights.
Right.
My husband and I have guns.
Eh,
So
we do
right,
too.
right. I know you
Hmm.
do, right? I've seen
Yeah,
it.
the senator has a lot.
Yes, but
And I have one.
right, but the issue is for me as DA is folks having guns that shouldn't have
Yeah.
guns. People
Yeah.
who are convicted felons, people who are involved in criminal activity. We tried a murder case this year where the individual that ended up deceased was the ringleader of a armed robbery and ended up dead. And
Mm.
so those are the kind of cases that we are seeing more and more frequently, especially more and more frequently going to trial.
Hmm.
People want to take their chance with juries because we have two folks typically who have had guns and they're guns at drug deals. We also recently had a case where and we were able to get a guilty verdict on this, but only you're gonna love this one, Commissioner, because you helped with that. You, the commission, the mayor, we were able to get a guilty verdict because of shot spotter,
Hmm.
because the victim had a gun and the victim fired his gun. And we had an immunity hearing, which is what you have when, as you're aware, that's what you have when someone claims self-defense. You have to have an immunity hearing first, or they can file for a motion for immunity hearing. We have that in front of the judge, and then the judge decides if the case goes to trial or not, and based on whether he or she should grant immunity or not. And at the immunity hearing, the defendant said that the victim shot first. We were able to get all that shot spotter data. We were able
Hmm.
to have Centel Smith, his rank escapes me now, but from the sheriff's office, he came and testified for us. And it was determined that the defendant actually shot first, not the victim.
Hmm.
And when we talked to the jurors, that made all the difference. So I know you were involved in, approving those funds for
Right.
that. Any tools that we can get, and we need more and more tools now. We cannot, and more training. So I thank you and the commission for approving, training for my staff. Because even though I've been doing this as a prosecutor for 20 years, you can't always do what you've been doing. You
That's
got to be
right.
innovative,
That's right.
right? And so I thank y'all for doing that. So y'all are crime fighters too.
Well, we have to be, and people who commit crimes are
That's right.
getting more and more sophisticated in the equipment and other things that they use. And so, those who fight crime, and you fight crime for black folks and white folks,
That's right.
everybody. So,
Everybody.
everybody deserves to have the most up to date law enforcement and the different entities that deal with every level of criminal activity. They need to be up to date.
That's right. Their
Hmm.
trainings need to be. I believe in professional development. I send my staff. I have used forfeiture funds to send folks from other law enforcement
Mm-hmm.
agencies within our circuit to different professional development opportunities. That is just so valuable, and you
Yeah.
cannot, just even for the knowledge and best practices and for innovative ideas, but also even for networking, because you never
Yeah.
know when you're going to run across something that somebody else either has, or somebody else can, assist you
Right.
with that. And so that's been a great help to us. So I just want to thank
That
y'all
is
for doing that. That was the
wonderful.
first
That's
case we used
wonderful.
Shot Spotter in.
Uh-huh.
And let me tell you, those jurors were saying, we want Shot Spotter
Thank you for
everywhere.
using our taxpayers'
There you
money.
go.
So those of you who fuss about different stuff when it's spent is not always wasted. You have to kind of ask some questions, but a lot of times folks just say they're down there spending my money,
That's
and
right. And I
so you
remember
got
when
to
the Shot
ask.
Spotter piece came
Yeah,
up, because anything that's new, people kind of like,
right.
And I remember there were a lot of questions about it. I remember the media had a lot of questions, because it was. I don't remember, the how much it cost, but I know it was
It was a
costly.
lot. Yeah.
But what I'll say is, it truly made the difference in us getting a verdict in that case.
Mm-hmm.
And I know it's going to make a difference in the future. But I'm saying, as your DA, even and I know this is not true, but even if it only made a difference in that one case, justice, a measure of justice was delivered for that mother who lost her 16-year-old son. So I
That's
say to
right.
the commission,
That's right.
job well done.
Ah, there's the DA. There's the DA, our DA. We want to welcome Leslie Simmons Steele, and she's amening what you're saying. Ricky Crawford knows Lieutenant Centel,
Yeah,
the
Lieutenant.
sheriff's
Thank you, because
department.
I didn't know what his rank was, but he
Yeah,
did a great job testifying for us. The jury was very impressed. We talked to those jurors for at least over an hour after that verdict came back. They were very impressed with
look,
Lieutenant.
I am impressed. When now you know, I like all of our officers to be, you know, in place and professional looking and stuff. But over the years, so many people have come down on our black men
Right.
until when you see them in uniform and standards or in their dress clothes and
Mm-hmm.
everything, and they're there presenting information and everybody's mouth is hanging open, I just sit there and just grin on the inside
That's
because it
right.
just makes me so happy to see. And I'll usually ask if there are some black folks, and y'all can call me prejudiced if you want to. But you know what? Whites usually get credit automatically. Black folks don't always get credit. And so I give credit to whites where it's due. But in those cases where I feel like someone black is not getting the credit they
Mm-hmm.
deserve, I will call out that particular situation or that person and ask them, tell us a little bit about yourself. Tell us about your degrees and all of your training and all of that so that we show people that folks didn't just get there.
Right.
They didn't just get there. And if you're black, you don't just get there.
That's
Look at
right.
Kamala,
That's right. And then these
vice
folks
president.
talking
Look,
about, it just, these folks want to say, she's not qualified. She is
how? Yeah,
overqualified.
yeah.
She was a line prosecutor, district attorney, attorney general, senator. And I was listening to Jamal Bryant, because she was up at New Birth for her
Mm-hmm.
birthday. I think she turned
Mm-hmm.
60. And he said, if the worst thing that somebody can say about me is they don't like my laugh,
Yeah,
won't that be
yeah,
a
yeah.
blessing? And I tell you, they don't want that lady to laugh.
Yeah,
And
yeah. They didn't want
God
President
is
Obama to wear a beige suit. You remember when
right.
he wore the beige suit
Yes.
and they just carried on like he had committed a crime like the 34 that so and so has been convicted of
And
already.
I was talking to somebody. I have dedicated my career, almost 20 years now, to being a prosecutor and following the rule of law and making sure that others are held accountable.
Mm-hmm.
And that looks different in every case, as it relates to following the rule of law. And it really bothers me, and it should bother all of us, regardless of the color of our skin, that so many folks, from males, especially from Black and Brown communities, who have been convicted felons, it has affected the way that they have the ability to get jobs,
Mm-hmm.
to get
Mm-hmm.
housing.
Mm-hmm.
And we're not talking about for violent crime, Allison. We're talking about, drugs and
Yeah.
just,
Yeah.
property crime, but them just being a convicted felon. But then we have somebody running
Oh
who,
yeah.
for the most important job in this nation, it's kind of
Convicted
and
rapist.
it's mind-boggling to me, being someone who has been law and order and who
Yeah.
is law and order. And you want to say, where is the equality in that,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And it just makes you kind of, I remember our seniors say some things that make you go,
Only
hmm.
makes you go.
It just kind of, and
Mm-hmm.
so that has, watching all of this, regardless, all this with the different, campaigns and things like that, that has been a conversation that my friends and I have had, privately, like,
Yeah.
ones that are career
Yeah.
prosecutors and in law
Yeah.
enforcement.
Yeah.
And it doesn't set well with
uh, it
us.
can't set well because people know what's equal. People know what's
Right.
equality and what's not. We want to welcome Hildred Jones. Good
Yes.
afternoon to you.
Hello. I see
Wade Horton has joined us.
Netta's on
I
here.
took
Ricky
Wade to
Copper.
vote.
Wait,
Wade
really?
lives right on the line there, the Jones County. And so we went, we were determined we were going to find this voting place hidden
Yes.
way back in Jones County. Y'all folks in Jones County need to get out and vote because I'm gonna tell you some other time some stuff I saw. But y'all need to get out there and vote.
You
But
gotta
we
vote
took
because your
yeah,
voice,
yeah,
your vote is your voice, and
right.
and everybody. Yeah, I went and voted. Ty and I voted. I can't remember what day we voted, but we went and voted. I believe a family that votes together
Oh
stays
yeah,
together. So
yeah,
my husband and I, we always go vote together. But what's important for me is I each time voting comes around, I have to remind, I have certain family members that if I don't remind them, they are not going to go. And
yeah,
so that is my responsibility. I am the one in the family to say, have you gone to go? When are you going to go? I mean, it's like I have to stay after some folks, but that's what we got
right.
to do, y'all, because democracy and decency are on the ballot.
That's right.
And we cannot be deterred, by all of this, the foolish rhetoric that we hear. We cannot be deterred by them trying to purge the voting rolls or any of the other shenanigans, because that's exactly what they
Right,
are, is shenanigans. We've
right,
got to vote.
right.
And
They
I know
want
you
you
do a
to.
lot with
Yeah,
voting.
yeah. We have been the last several weeks taking people, mostly senior citizens from the senior high rises. We drive up in the van, either I, my husband, or my son, and George Crawley has
Yeah.
also has a team of folks who are providing rides, and you ride up, and these folks are just so excited
Yes.
about going to vote. And up until Friday, you can vote at three early voting sites: the Senior Citizens Center, you can vote it at the Macon Mall, the new Board of Elections that your money is paying for, and also at the Theranossery Recreation Center. And we want to not only say hello to Hildred Jones, but also to Wade Horton, Laura Stanley,
Yes.
Leslie Simmons Steele, Ricky Crawford, my sister Nita. Was Randy on here too? Did
I
you
think
see
I think
Randy?
I saw Randy's name on here.
Okay. Y'all press like and share. And we want to thank those who've tuned in on AM and FM. This is a wonderful place to be today, and we guarantee you that you'll get smarter. Our very special guest, one that we've got a phone call,
Got a phone
but our
call.
very special guest today is none other than the first Black female district attorney of the Macon Judicial Circuit, the Honorable Anita Reynolds Howard. Caller, are you there?
Hello.
To ask Elaine.
Hey, Miss Elaine, I just wanted to say thank y'all for just sharing about this about voting. It is dead serious.
Uh-huh. It is. It is. What do you see as the worst problem? What do you see as something we need to be doing to get more voters out?
Um, I tell you what I've been doing. I got a lot of them that people that I know. If they don't need rides, I'm actually, I do that. I carry them to the polls. But just actually, we need people to vote early because
We really do.
we do. I mean, it's no need to wait until that. I mean, vote early. That's what we
Yeah,
were telling them, son. Go vote. Don't say you're gonna do it and not do it. I mean, democracy and it's serious. We need
it
you
is.
out there.
You're
And
absolutely right.
Absolutely.
yeah, I thank God for you for what you do. And D.A. Howard, she and I
Yes,
go
sir.
way back. Been knowing her a long time, and I'm
Uh-huh.
like her. I have to call some family members like I did today. It's sad we have to do that. But I
But
can
we got
get
to
you
do
when
it.
go to a football game somewhere. I don't have to
Oh,
call and tell
look.
you to you can do
No,
that.
you don't have to do that. Dinner. They're right there. But that's part of our job as citizens. First class
It is.
citizens go and round up other folks because it's just like getting vaccination. You're protecting yourself, but you're protecting everybody else. And when
Yeah.
we get people out to vote, we're helping ourselves too. So it's just part of that whole role of a good citizen, and you hope that they will eventually become a first class citizen too. That's all
Exactly.
you can
Exactly.
hope for.
Yeah. Well,
But you wanna
again,
you
thank
wanna
y'all so much.
pardon?
I just say thank y'all so much. I just want to say that. And D. Howard, thank you so much. Like I say, she know who I am, and I just thank you so much for what you do.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. You have a wonderful day.
Okay, and can I tell her the one thing? Tell your mom I say hello. Michael say hello.
Okay, I definitely will. I'll tell her.
Okay. All right.
Thank
Y'all be
you for
blessed.
tuning in to Ask Elaine. All right, we want to welcome Sharon Wolfall. Good afternoon to you too, and Michael Anthony Hicks. I haven't seen you in a while, maybe on Facebook, but you haven't commented. It's been a while, and we certainly want to welcome all of you to Ask Elaine. This is your voice, Commissioner Elaine Lucas.
Yes, and District Attorney
Welcome.
Howard. I'm glad to be here. We talked a little bit about kind of some of the what we're seeing as far as cases, some of the challenges. We are up there, typically every other month here in Bibb County, as set by the judges, trying cases. Most of the time, we are trying murder cases. I know last week and I don't know if you saw it in the news, that we tried a case. It was a defendant who had committed two murders 8 days apart. And, some of the challenges that I was talking about as far as the cases, the victim and the defendant both
Hmm.
having a gun, us trying to determine who shot first. Most of the time, neither one of them should have had a gun, because they were convicted felon or either involved in criminal activity. We did not have that in this case. So a lot of times we will have also where victims, the eyewitnesses won't cooperate, with us, with the prosecution. We did not have that. We had eyewitnesses, we had victims. There were two deceased victims, obviously, because there were two murders, but in one of them, there were some ag assault charges because there were other people in the car. And everybody just participated in that prosecution. We got guilty verdicts for both of those murders. And what stood out to me about that case we tried last week was the two folks that got murdered. this is truly why I do my job. The two folks that got murdered were doing, in my opinion, what we all should be able to do in America. One was celebrating a promotion, and they were going to the store to get ice for that, and for the promotion party, and then the other was on a first date. And those are things that I have done. I know, Commissioner Lucas, those are things that you have done. And to have your life senselessly taken, living life, not doing anything criminal. And that stood out to me. And the one that was doing that got killed, they were there to celebrate the promotion, just going to the store to get ice. The defendant thought that one of them, there were three individuals, all open members of the LGBTQ plus community, and the defendant just thought that one of them looked at him too long.
Just nothing.
Right.
Just nothing.
Exactly. And all of these, lives, those two lives lost. We've not had sentencing yet for that defendant, but we will be asking for life without the possibility of parole.
Important things. Oh, I could think of a million more important things than to just get into it and take somebody's life. For looking at me. I just look back like I did that guy that was trying to cut me off in traffic. I just looked back at him.
But I think it has larger, to me, larger ramifications when there are people that may love differently than we love, or may believe differently. But when you see that the hateful rhetoric, right, and the racist rhetoric and the misogynistic language, like at that national level, and we see it.
Oh yeah.
When you see it, I think I saw some allegations of that in a local race here. I think I saw it on the news. What was it, yesterday? About some things. But when people are emboldened to be so intolerant of differences from other people, that's why leadership locally is important, but even on a national level, as it relates to who our president's going to be. That's why I continue to say decency is on the ballot.
Right. But he was there running his mouth and stirring folks up, and they got so stirred up by him, sort of a cultish kind of thing, and then went running their behinds over to the Capitol, attacking police. Several died as a result of their injuries. I think over 100 were injured. A number of them retired because of that situation. And you have had thousands of them put on trial. Well, they didn't put them on trial for nothing. They had to have done something. But these nuts say they didn't do anything. And if you elect this clown, you not only buy into and forgive all of the wrongdoing, but you open it up for him to turn this country upside down and to allow others to come in and take over, like Russia, China, all of those that are just standing at the border. Those are the aliens. Those are the ones that are standing there to take us over with welcome arms from Trump and his folks. So what old folks say, you better mind losing this hearing. Better mind.
But now we got to look. I want somebody there, who I can be proud of.
Oh yeah.
Someone who is, professional, respectful of folk, respectful of folks in the armed services,
smart,
who are
some brains,
right, who are decent, who are not, people who are not, again, saying disparaging remarks about certain groups of people. And so I'm just hopeful that everybody gets out and vote. I think everybody knows. I've been vocal about it. I've been active that I am supporting, Vice President Kamala Harris for president. Number one, she's qualified. Number two, I have personally met her on two occasions. And, I have been to her house twice. She's my sorority sister.
See, I gotta shake your hand before you
No,
leave. I think
she's
I
my
already shook your hand when you
she,
came
hey,
back.
she's my sorority. I'm just telling y'all, she is ready. She is ready, and she's not doing this um to check a box. She is truly doing this for the people, because if you look at it, she really doesn't need to do anything
No,
else, right?
no.
And the scrutiny that she has been under, and she is going to be under as president, because we're going to claim it. That, I
Right.
mean, that's not, I can't imagine that level of scrutiny. I know the scrutiny by being the first female and first African American DA, where you are never given the benefit of the doubt. And sometimes
Right.
now, Commissioner Lucas, it's even by, some folks that look like us. I had to
understand.
say to somebody when, here, recently, do you think I don't know what's going on with this guy? I started explaining, well, we didn't know you knew that. You never, I'm here because this is a calling.
Yeah.
I know about this. I have binders in my office. I don't have to go out and say to folks, "Hey, I'm doing this. I'm doing my job." I know what's going on.
But Black people have an unfair burden, and you're always having to be, not everybody, but the majority of Black folks who reach a certain level of responsibility and authority, they have had to overproduce. And it's always in your mind. What are they thinking? Are they thinking that I'm qualified? I know I am, but I've got to show it. I know that's been me all the way through my teaching career.
That's right.
Always making sure, because I loved it, but I was well trained too. So but you always have that thing with you that you have got to show, because you know there's some people who are thinking that you're not as qualified.
That's
as
right.
that one. And then it's a shame, but we have to teach our children that too. Make sure that you do this,
That's
this,
right.
this, and this, so that there's no doubt.
That's right.
And then we have to teach our kids when they go in a store, especially our Black boys, when they go in a store, keep your hands where. But how unfair,
right,
is that to a race of people who were enslaved and who built the country, and you're still enslaved?
Well, it's
by
like
folks'
it's like
minds.
it's like the conversation that I know most, and a lot of other folks do it now, but we know that there's, no matter how the grades and how well mannered, your children are. I know my husband and I did this with my bonus son when he started driving. You sit him down and have the conversation.
Oh, yeah.
And everybody knows I support law enforcement, but you still sit them down and you have that conversation to say, this is what you do.
That's
when
right.
law enforcement
That's
stops
right.
you.
That's right.
Right?
That's right. And it's different because whites don't have to go through all that. We have a caller.
I see that.
Caller.
Hey, how y'all doing?
Commissioner Tillman, you know that you're always a commissioner.
Yes. How you
know
doing?
That, and you're always the honorable. So we're
Well,
glad
listen,
to have you call in.
I'm listening to you. I'm listening to you two ladies who uh, have made history in Macon-Bibb County. And I wanted to say how interesting and gratifying it was to see y'all's names on the ballot. But neither one of y'all had an opponent. So that's a testament to the work that you all have already put in.
Well, let me tell you what happened. She had all of these accomplishments. And then she has a wonderful staff, very supportive staff. She had all these people already lined up. People had already sent her plenty of money. I was supporting her, the senator, all of these folks. So they were scared to challenge her. And then with me, I had a lot of these same folks and we were ready. So they were kind of They were kind of a little bit nervous because they figured they were gonna get spanked. So that's what had happened.
That's what. Well,
That what had
and I'll
happened.
say it. I was. You're always glad when you don't have
Yeah.
opposition. When I ran the first time, I remember some of my supporters said, "Are you gonna win?" I honestly said I had never run for office before. I said, all I know is I'm doing all that I can. When the polls close, I'm gonna leave it all on the field, and but I couldn't give them a yes. I told folks, "Oh, I can give you a yes this time,"
Mm-hmm.
because, like I was telling Commissioner Lucas, I had a record to run on, and we've done a lot. I mean, when I went back to first of all to that office, I was not given any kind of proper transition. We tried, that didn't work. But then not only that, then we had COVID going on. I remember I was on one call. I know Eric Woodford listens sometimes. I know him and I often talk about this. Those folks thought I was crazy, but they were talking about they couldn't have court because it was COVID. And I had seen in another county, someone had read an article where they were having court in one of the parking garages.
Mm-hmm.
And so I said that on the call. These folks laughed at me, but I was so serious about giving folks their day in court. I definitely, as a DA, I know as a DA is my job to hold people accountable, but it's also my job to give them their day in court.
Yeah.
And so, we've come a long way from where we
Yeah.
were when I first
Yeah.
started as the DA. So we've accomplished a lot. We've gone from about seven investigators when I started to 13, and that's needed. Uh,
Yeah.
and so
Well, I
I'm
want to say
just,
Yeah.
this.
Gotta have
We've
staff.
watched you for your first 2 years, Anita. We watched you, and there was a lot of ups and downs, and we all knew that we knew why there were ups and downs and the challenges, but you overcame it, and you ran unopposed, and you continue to make history. And want to congratulate both of you all because you'll be both going back in office with no opposition. And Commissioner Lucas, I'll be seeing you on December 3rd because we'll be having our official
Yeah.
retirement celebration together. So
Yeah.
congratulations on that as
In
well.
City Hall, and all of you who are
And y'all
listening
take
are
care.
invited
yeah, and
to join us.
congratulations to you and your retirement and to doing wonderful things. I think it's at Henderson Stadium. I think I saw that. I apologize. I was not able to make your event, Commissioner Tillman, but thank you for
Well, you're
inviting me.
everywhere. You're everywhere.
And
You
please,
need a clone. I understand.
please invite me. So, but no, I'm excited about things to come at Henderson Stadium. I know you're going to have, lots of events there. So I'm excited about that.
Yeah, I'm excited about
Yeah. Y'all be
Henderson
blessed.
State.
I look forward to
Yeah.
talking to y'all in the near future.
All
Okay,
right.
sounds
Yeah,
good.
Thank
everybody
you
get out and
very
vote.
much.
This thing is serious. Let's vote.
Oh, it is serious. It is serious. We've been getting out, but there's not enough folks. There are
Yeah. They just look. They just
115,000
somebody. They just
registered
sent my
voters.
daughter something yesterday to come to Nebraska to campaign for Harris, President Harris.
Tell her to
So
go on because they're paying
yeah, yeah.
very, very well.
Oh yeah.
And it's
So y'all be
a
blessed.
short time.
That's right. You too.
Thank
Thank
you. Thank you.
you.
We have another caller. Caller, welcome to Ask Elaine. Hello,
Hey, Miss
caller.
Lucas, this is Wade. How you doing?
Wade, how are you?
I'm doing good. I'm good. Look, thank you
Good.
for our
I'm
little
on
trip.
with your favorite DA.
That's right. That's right. Look, I'm
Yeah.
calling to thank you for our trip to
Oh,
Jonestown.
I enjoyed it. Enjoyed it.
But oh yeah. I got one comment to make in reference to something y'all was talking about with Kamala Harris,
Okay.
and I think it was brilliant and flawlessly the way she's run her campaign because the national media is not even focusing on her being the first black female president. I mean, she's done so much on
Yeah.
defining who she is and not even bringing attention to that, which I think that speaks volumes in itself.
Right. They're having to draw attention to some things, but it's like they're apologizing for some things when they really should just be presenting this as fact. These are the things that we know about the vice president. And
Right.
it just seems like that they allow people to uphold Trump or defend him. But with Kamala Harris, they've got just, you got to do more.
And the thing is, she's showing up. You know, she's showing up and she's being accountable. And there are some things that I'm sure, there's always things that you wish more could have gotten done on. But that's why voting is so important. And I know that we've had record numbers of folks voting in this election. That's great. But when we have the midterms coming back up, people need to go back and vote, because the president and vice president can only do so much. They need people in Congress to, help to assist to push those things through so that they can sign them and they can vote them into law. But oftentimes we only get excited about the presidential election,
Yeah.
and President Obama
Yeah.
had said that. And so, no, I thank you so much for calling in, Wade, and thank you for your continued, support and encouragement. But you're exactly right. She's gonna pull this thing off.
I
It's not
think
even
so,
she's
too.
done what she's doing what she need to do. She crisscrossing this country like
She's
nothing
gonna
I
be
never
back in
seen.
Atlanta tomorrow,
Yeah,
isn't
and then I
she?
think
She
she's
was
coming
just
back
there.
again, because I got 2 emails saying she's coming back. Now I was
Uh-huh.
the one that President Obama was at the other day. What was that, Thursday? I can't even keep up.
Oh, smoothie.
Yes, I was there for that one, and so I had to go to that one.
I like to sit and watch y'all on TV.
So
Anyway,
I'm gonna play one
Dennis
more thing and I'm gonna
Bryant.
let somebody else go.
Okay,
I'm
thank
gonna
you
play one.
so very much.
thank you.
Donis Bryant, the
Yes.
incoming District 8 Commissioner, is on, and thank you for tuning in. Ricky Crawford, he says, when I hear anything about my DA or anybody says something about her or the DA's, trust me, I take care of
Take
that
care of it.
conversation.
Cause I
That
know, you
sounds
know it
good.
now. Ricky does take care of me. Let me tell you. Well, Ricky, what he does is he tells the truth. And I don't know what it is, but for people gravitate, some people, they gravitate towards negativity.
Oh yeah.
And
Oh yeah.
instead of seeking the truth. And see, that's my job. That's what people don't understand. It is my job to seek justice and reveal truth. And whatever that truth is, like we
That's
had one
it.
case recently, it was in the news. We were trying a murder case. Law enforcement had tried to interview this defendant. They tried and tried. We were in contact with law enforcement from the sheriff's office telling us we tried to, he won't come in. He won't come in. We had somebody deceased. We don't have, what other option do we have? So they charged that particular defendant, and then his brother took the stand and said, I'm the one who did it. And we knew that based off of, the type of gun once he said it.
Yeah.
And we know that that was something that the defense was trying to get in. And because had he wanted to take accountability and responsibility, he could have easily, he knew they were trying to reach out to the brother, so he could have said, no, it was me. That never happened. But regardless of the fact that the brother that took the stand is now charged. And we got a couple of media requests about it. How do I feel? It again, it's not personal. It's my job to seek justice and reveal truth. And when we get the truth, and that's how I tell my ADAs, I tell them, you got to have courage. When you are going one way in a case based on the evidence, but then midstream during the trial, whenever you get additional evidence, as a prosecutor, you got to be able to just deviate and go that way.
Yeah.
We have wrongful convictions and people who are in prison and incarcerated for things they did not do. because of prosecutors who lack courage to follow the evidence. The only thing I tell my team is follow the evidence and present the facts in an efficient way to the jury. You do that, you've done your job. It's the jury's job to determine guilt, whether the person's guilty or not guilty. And I tell them that's what they do.
All
I see we got another caller.
Sounds like, yeah. Sounds like a well-run department to me. And I am amazed because when I was on the commission, just about every month, we were approving a grant that you and your folks had applied for. And it was like 200,000, 300,000, 500,000. And these were for the different initiatives.
Yes.
Congressman Sanford Bishop, who, by the way, is on the ballot and got a certified nut as his opponent. He is certified, y'all. Ask the Republicans what
y'all
they think
vote
of
for Congressman Sanford Bishop. He says a few things. But one thing he says voting and who gets elected, especially as it relates to Congress, is about who gets what and when.
Yeah.
And let me tell you, Congressman Bishop, he may be in DC, but I assure you, as your district attorney, that he has Middle Georgia on his mind. He, as Commissioner Lucas was saying, gave us $240,000 in congressional appropriations money for the RISE initiative. And let me tell y'all, he did not wait for me to call him. He heard about RISE and he had his team to call my team to say he wants to give some congressional appropriations dollars to the RISE initiative that helps with youth victims so that they won't become a part of our criminal justice system because of their trauma. And we asked for 240 and we got 240,000.
And all of that flows through the Democratic administration. So you mess around and not re-elect that Democratic team up there, and all of these different things that are people issues, people programs, healthcare, education.
That's right.
Because Trump says he's going to get rid of the Department of Education. Did y'all remember that? He says he's going to get rid of all of those departments that protect us, consumer protection. That's another area that he's going to get rid of.
Does that make sense? Plan
That's
or
in that
something like
Project
that?
2025. It sure is. And we have another caller. I was trying to make sure we had all of the folks who are on in the chat. Caller, are you there? Welcome to Ask Elaine.
Hello.
Yes, caller. How are you?
Oh, hi, Commissioner Lucas. I'm doing great. This is Kimberlyn Carter.
That's Kimberlyn.
Hello,
That's our Kimberlyn. How are you?
Oh, I'm just fired up.
We got D.A. Howard on today.
I'm completely fired up. I'm not going to even talk about being with Mrs. Michelle Obama last night because I got more. No. I am not. If I'm bragging, then I'm bragging with about.
That's okay. That is okay.
No, I'm really excited because I'm on her Georgia coordinating committee, and so Rep. Georgia got a chance to partner with When We All Vote to bring her here to Georgia. So I was really excited to see her last night in person. I haven't seen her for a while. But what I called to talk about was some really exciting news about what's happening in Macon-Bibb with voting. I am immensely impressed with our 18 to 29-year-olds who are coming through with 11% voter turnout. I know that doesn't sound high to a lot of people, but when you're talking about at least 4 4,000, almost 4,500 young people between the ages of 18 to 29 have shown up to have their voices heard in this election. That is pretty impressive when we look at where we are
That
on
is
the state average.
much, much
So
better.
I'm really, really excited about that number. And to my fellow sisters out there, the women's vote is at 50, almost 60%. We're 58.8% of every vote cast in making bid in comparison to men who are at 41%. So come on, brothers, we need y'all to come on
Yeah,
out. We
brothers,
know
we
you're
got
going
to
to
get
stand
you
with us,
out.
so we need
So,
you to
ladies,
come
y'all know
on
what to
out.
do. Kim, they know what to
And
do.
Oh,
yeah,
ladies, we
yeah,
know
we
how to
do know
handle.
what to do, ladies. Ladies,
Yeah,
you got to get on the job now.
yeah, I
Exactly,
wouldn't be with a man who didn't vote.
That's
That
right.
just couldn't,
That's you know what.
doesn't excite me at
You know
all.
what, Commissioner? It is so
What?
funny because that is literally what Mrs. Obama told all the young ladies in the audience last night. Because the event was mainly about first time voters and young people, so
Uh,
it was like Spelman sent about 300 folks. We literally did 6 buses and 2 sprinters for students from all over the state: Fort Valley State, Savannah State, Albany State, Payne College. Our program brought young people from all of those schools up there. And Mrs. Obama told them, if he don't vote, she said, I don't talk. She said, listen,
oh,
ladies, yeah. Hey,
no.
if he doesn't vote, he's not a good choice for
It,
me, right? So,
mhm,
so I hear you, but I will say this to our folks. Last week we were only about 100 votes in difference, with white votes being 18,200. I think we were 100 votes different. This week we're 152 votes different. So
mhm.
I need our folks to get out there. I need the black vote to come up a little bit more. I would love to see us at 30 or 40,000 by next Tuesday, by the end of next Tuesday. So let's just keep pushing, everybody. Everybody right now, get in your phones, get in your group chats. I know y'all got at least 5 people in there. We need
Mm.
5 to thrive, 10 to win. So get in those group chats and tell folks they got to get out. They got to get out.
Yeah, yeah. I was real pleased to take a younger gentleman from the east side to vote down at the center earlier today, and he was very excited to go. He had recently had some trouble with his car, and he
Okay.
said he was going to go vote because he has 2 young boys, and he wanted
Oh,
to serve
wow.
example
Oh,
to his
wow.
young sons. And he expressed that he doesn't have the very best relationship because of some things going on, but he wanted to show them what a man does. And I just was
Yeah.
so impressed with that. I was extra careful driving him
Mm.
to the, to the early voting site
Mhm. Mhm.
to vote.
Mhm. Mhm.
We want to welcome Charlia Foster, and I think I saw Herbert Denard on
I
here.
did. I
He
saw
is
him on
on here.
here. I had
Yeah,
my
I saw
24-year
his
old.
daughter last night. Deborah Denard
yeah.
is one of the senior volunteers for the Women We All Vote program.
Oh,
So I got a
wow.
Uh,
chance to see her
Okay.
last night backstage.
I, and I
oh,
have a 24-year-old cousin in Houston County. He was one of the ones that I told need to go vote his first time
that
voting.
was
So
wonderful.
I hope
Yeah.
those
Wonderful.
numbers. I hope those numbers are up in Houston County too, for
The
that
numbers are
18
up
to
in.
29-year-old group.
Are they better in
Let me
Houston?
look at Houston right quick while you just mentioned that my DA. And and even though of course my home is always my hometown, but we are definitely out here doing the work to make sure Deborah
Yeah,
Gonzalez and Athens Clark,
we never
Shalina
know
Cook
where
Jones
where
down
you
in
go.
Chatham, Patty up in Gwinnett, some of your fellow sisters in the district
Oh
attorney
yes,
role.
I
We're
was with
out here
Patty.
hidden for them, baby.
Patty
We out here hidden for them.
Yes, Patsy and I actually went to the Harris Obama rally together last Thursday. So I got a chance to see her. Oh, I love Patsy. She is doing phenomenal things there. And so I got an opportunity to spend some time with her. I had never heard President Obama speak live, so I wanted to go. I was excited. And y'all, he pointed at me. And I'm telling you, I called Todd just to holler.
He
Todd
pointed at
said,
me on my TV
look,
too.
look, I'm going to show you my video, though. I'm going to show you my video.
I know he pointed at you, DA, because I know Beyonce pointed at me.
Yeah. He pointed at me,
So
y'all.
that's why I know he pointed at you.
I forgot I was the DA.
They all pointed at me at my TV.
Well, okay, ladies. Well, I have to hop on a Zoom.
Okay.
But please, Commissioner, I've got a ground team that's needed to happen in Baldwin County. If you want to do some door knocking in Baldwin County, we are paying $25 an hour with $100 a day stipend on top of it. Please get in touch with Commissioner Lucas, who will get in touch with me. This is Baldwin County only. Baldwin County only. Okay?
Yeah, because the governor has targeted.
And in Chatham County, in Savannah, if I have some listeners or some people in Chatham and Savannah, we're actually paying $35 an hour in Chatham County. So if you know some folks that want to do some canvassing in Chatham County, Savannah, or Baldwin County area, get in touch with Commissioner Lucas, and we'll get you to work.
Right, it's $25 an hour plus $100 stipend in addition to your $25 an hour.
wow.
So those who are listening, y'all, get your folks.
Get them together.
Because that is some good money for. It's a short period of time, but it's not hard work. It is just steady work, and you're achieving a real service for the community. Terrell Dassoff.
Oh yeah,
Terrell. Were you at the graduation when Terrell graduated from E.L. High?
I don't remember. I do know him.
But he is a chef,
and he sings too, right?
Yes. Terrell he's something else. We want to thank you so much for tuning in. It's so good. Oh, and I want to mention too that we attended the homegoing. It was a celebration for Richard Hunt, the late Richard Hunt, Sarah Hunt's son, who passed away. And the memorial service was this past Saturday at Macedonia Church. And it was just a wonderful, wonderful tribute to that musical genius. And so we wanna let his family know that we're still thinking of them. And he's reunited with Sarah. And I know they're just there jumping around, two little fat jiggly.
I know. Oh,
I know they're just jumping around. Charlia says she and her son will help with Baldwin County. Okay. Charlia, just give me a call later on or tomorrow morning, and we'll add your names to that list. Remember, Kimberlyn said it's $25 per hour plus $100 stipend on top of that. So if there's anybody, y'all call me later. Please call me later. And Terrell says, thank you. And D.A. Howard, y'all are the pillars of this great city. Bless your heart. Bless your heart. You have tuned in to Ask Elaine. We only have a few more minutes.
I know. I got a text. Somebody wants me to talk about bonds. I know that's a question that always comes up.
Okay.
Judges set bond. It is very often, and most of the time, it's in cases, I would say in murder cases, in cases involving a death, cases involving the use of a gun, any kind of case involving a child, the DA's office will oppose bond. But judges are still setting those bonds. That is a decision for judges to make. The DA does not set bond. We argue against those bonds quite often, but they are being set. There are certain factors that judges have to look at. And one of those factors, believe it or not, is not whether or not the person did it. The factors, or even if they confess, those factors are what are they likelihood to commit new felonies, likelihood to intimidate witnesses, and things of that nature. And so the judge listens to both sides and then makes a determination about whether or not they believe the person should have a bond.
All right, we appreciate
we
those
always
questions.
Run out of time. We
always do.
Time.
And there's one name I did not mention, and that is Songbird.
Oh, Songbird, my twin. Hello.
Yeah, your twin.
My twin. I wish I had the twin singing voice like her.
Yeah,
but I don't.
we got to get Songbird and then also Ken Blair.
Oh, yeah,
and
they're doing great things at Westland.
Yeah.
And President Blight, they are doing amazing things at Westland.
Yeah.
I know they did something recently over at Via Mount Zion where they provided a scholarship. They're doing great things.
We got to have them on here and talk about that. And then Dr. Jawan, Ken's doctor too. Yes. But Dr. Jawan Jackson is in a new position at Mercer, working with students, helping students to enter and remain in school and stuff. And so we're going to have him on as well. Ooh, our special guest has been DA Anita Reynolds Howard. Thank you. We'll see you again next Wednesday for another edition of Ask Elaine.
Connecting the community through gospel.
The new 107.9 FM, W300EB.
Macon and WDDO 980 AM Perry.